Do you want to take us back to the origin stories of Stand in Pride?
I'm the founder of Stand in Pride, a newly formed nonprofit organization that helps connect members of the LGBTQ plus community with other members and allies for emotional support and to physically stand in at live events, such as weddings or graduations. Basically a safe space to find chosen family. Stand in Pride we just turned 3 years old on January 29th. I started out creating content on TikTok and just last year kind of moved over to Instagram as well. But I just made a video 3 years ago back in January of 2021 offering to be a stand-in dad for LGBTQ plus couples whose parents couldn't or wouldn't attend their wedding. And so that video wasn't hugely viral, but it gained enough attention that the comments were just filled with other parents saying, oh, I would do that. I want to do that too. But also members of the community that were saying, I'm not getting married, but I would love to have somebody in my life, somebody to check on me sometimes. So I started looking at options. How can we make this work for everybody? And decided a Facebook group, a private Facebook group would be the best way to connect because you couldn't really make connections in, the comment section of a video. So that's when I created the first Facebook group.
And I've been checking out your Facebook groups. They are not small. How many members do you have in your groups?
I honestly haven't checked lately, but like the original group, Stand in Pride International, got like 65,000 members. I think total around the world, we're close to like 250,000 members.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you have 250,000 members of people who are saying, I either need somebody in my life to show up for me as a family member might, or I want to do that on behalf of somebody else.
Correct.
Can you, so let's talk about, first of all, what does it mean to show up as a family member? What is lacking for somebody who says, please come here, please participate with me? What does family member mean in this context? You've given an example of showing up at a wedding. What are some other examples?
Right. Some of the most touching examples that I've witnessed. And honestly, the groups are so large now, I don't actually see everything like I used to because I have some amazing volunteers that help with moderating and everything like that. But we had a young trans man who was going to a job interview and couldn't tie a tie. The dads just jumped in and somebody taught him how to tie his tie on FaceTime. We had a young person applying to college and some moms chipped in and helped her fill out her college applications. Things that, a lot of times if you have family members that you kind of would take for granted. I've seen people asking for help with a recipe. My mom used to make this for me and, we're estranged and I want to make this for my fiance or something like that. So it can be such simple little things that a community can offer this person who doesn't have anybody else. And I want to point out too that when I started the first Stand in Pride group, it was 2021. So we were still very much reeling from the pandemic. Yeah. And I think it took a toll on those that were estranged from their family because, it was even more isolating than they already were because then they were cut off from what little community they had for, months at a time. So I think it just all kind of come about at the right time when it was really needed.
Hi, I hope you loved this little excerpt of Stork'd, the podcast where we talk about all things family building and families. This was a little taste of the bigger episode. We call it a Stork'd Munchkin. If you love what you heard, I highly encourage you to check out the full episode wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find it on the Stork'd website at storkdpodcast.com. If you're in the process of building your own family or exploring what family means to you and you want to stay up to date on all relevant topics related to family building, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. It's called Let's Start a Family and it is found on Substack. Happy listening.